episode of the Community Rec podcast. This is a special supplier voice edition. Today's very special guest is Wendy White. She's the Chief Marketing and Partner Officer at Daxko. Wendy, first off, how are you doing today?
John, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I actually love Community Rec and the podcast, so it's just an honor to be here.
Awesome. It's an honor to have you. Thanks so much for joining us today. I think our discussion will cover something that's pretty topical right now in the community rec space and on all different industries as well. But just first off, from your perspective at Daxco, what's a problem that you're seeing that community rec professionals are facing that needs to be solved?
I think it's probably not even just limited to community rec. I think all of us are seeing it, which is, finding and keeping great staff and talent. And along with that, leveraging our data to make great decisions. Like we got to find the right people, keep them on board, train them up, and then teach them how to use the right data to make great decisions.
Terrific. We're feeling that too on our side. It's maintaining good staffing, but also finding the right staff as well. I think everyone's having that issue, and I've definitely heard that from community rec leaders as well, YMCAs and JCCs, you name it.
Yeah.
What's a common misconception that you could possibly dispel surrounding this issue?
I think a fun one that is in the market right now, and maybe fun is like the wrong word. Maybe it's like anxiety inducing or a lot of like churn out there is that AI is going to replace my job.
Yeah.
Right. I think everybody I know who thinks about the job market, opportunities for, talent and progression is worried about AI replacing their job. Interestingly, though, the data is starting to say it's not true. Jobs are becoming more senior, more complex. They're shifting towards higher paid roles. And there's more jobs for like in my space for marketing or for engineers out there as any time. So AI replacing my job is probably a myth.
That's very good news. I love to hear that. As a writer, that's awesome news. Well, so maybe what are some best practices when it comes to the overall issue right now that we're talking about, and also AI as well?
Yeah.
What could be some keys to success for community rec centers?
Yeah. Well, community rec centers are probably sitting on an incredibly deep pool of data. They have their members, they know how their members are engaging with them. They can see program signups, they can see, check-ins, they can understand the behaviors of those members. So what I think is probably interesting is they're sitting on this deep pool of data and they're probably not using it effectively. And so there is both this opportunity, and then there's the opportunity that's not really being fulfilled right now.
Terrific. Interesting. I've heard that too from a lot of leaders when it comes to they know they have the data and it feels like they're just starting to get involved with it and they're finally finding ways into it. I think AI is the most common way that's happening.
Probably, yeah.
What are some of the latest trends that you're seeing when it comes to your interactions with community rec centers?
Well, I think, like you said, people are starting to understand that this data that they have is a gold mine. It's a gold mine for reducing costs, strengthening member engagement, and retaining, program participants, members, et cetera. So why is that? It's because there's insights in there to a particular member or user's behaviors, and then there's insights into patterns of behaviors that can allow you to make smarter decisions, like what programs you offer, how much you charge for things. So I think unlocking that insight and that data is an incredible opportunity.
Well, speaking of unlocking that data, how can your company in Daxco, how can your service possibly help community rec center leaders navigate AI in their own teams?
Well, first of all, when you're talking about AI, you do want to partner with an organization who really understands your operations, who has that experience in your operations. So, Daxco, we're 25 years now. into partnering with mission-driven organizations like YMCA's, community rec centers, Boys and Girls Clubs, JCCs. Like those are that is the lifeblood of this company, is to partner with those organizations and help them fulfill their missions and help them impact their communities. So one is start with a partner who is very invested in your mission. Mm-hmm. Two is work with a partner that is going to keep your data safe, right? You have to be thinking about, like, it takes a certain size and scale for a company like ours to really invest in data security, the right AI process and tools compliance, all those things. And you want the company you're partnering with that's going to touch your data or expose your data to have those best practices built in, right? So I like to think that the way we can help is we bring our experience, we bring our, our investment in data management, our investment in security and compliance. And then lastly, we bring our passion for this work. And there's nothing that people at Daxko are not more passionate about, than our mission, which is powering wellness and improving lives. And with the way we believe we do that is by offering the best, technology solutions, but then also offering the deepest expertise in how community centers operate to apply those to their challenges.
Terrific. Well, you mentioned those 25 years that you guys have working with community rec centers in particular, improving lives, like you said. I'm curious, as a rapid question, how's Daxko just very uniquely positioned to help community rec centers?
Yeah. 25 years of working with community rec centers means that we have seen a lot of data and we have a lot of patterns. We have that data stored. And so when we're able to take the operational expertise we have in the behaviors of the members, the best practices, and all of that investment we've made in data, security, compliance, and innovation, we're in a unique position, I think, to create the kind of AIs that community centers are going to want and deploy them in the workflows and the technology they're already using today versus bolting on something new, like a front-end chatbot that actually doesn't know your member journey, that doesn't have the language of your community center, that doesn't have the understanding of what's the difference between, a swim program and a camp program. Obviously we have that. So we're uniquely positioned, I think, to bring a lot of value to community rec centers as they want to use AI to understand their members better, understand their programs better, drive deeper member engagement, and drive retention. We are uniquely positioned to bring the data, the insights, the language, the tool set into the operational best practices they're using every day. And I think that's critically important because everybody's a little nervous about deploying AI. They're nervous about the security of it, and it feels overwhelming and complex. And so you want to get it from a trusted provider who is going to take care of those things for you.